What up? This is Robert Ory.
Or three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
Ah, yes. Man, you were right on it last week, I got to tell you, man. Rob said if Miami can roll into Denver and steal a game, they might be in a good shot, in a good position. Sure enough, Miami sneaks in, steals game 2 of the NBA Finals, and now we head into Miami, tied up 1 apiece. Denver and the Heat.
You know, it's weird. I think the worst thing that happened for Miami is they got a couple of days off, and that way, you know, Denver can try to figure out that zone.
Yeah.
Because that zone gave Denver fits, man. And the thing about zones in the NBA, if you can play a good zone, the way Miami does, is guys don't go to college. So they don't learn how to play against zones, and they only know how to play against man-to-man. So they're freaking clueless now on how to, you know, get past that zone. So it's these 2 days before the next game is probably going to kind of mess them up. But, hey, let's just give it up to the way Miami Heat are playing, man. They're one of the best teams as far as moving the basketball outside of Denver and playing good defense. Then their defense is carrying them.
It is, and, you know, role players, the Gabe Vincents of the world, the Duncan Robinsons of the world, showing up when they needed to. And it always seems to me like it's against all odds with Miami. It's like, how the hell are they going to win this series? And then they show up and they win a game they shouldn't. They win a series that you didn't see them winning. And, after the way they played in Game 1, and Game 1 was really shaky, I thought. Denver just kind of ran Game 1 on them. They did everything they wanted to do. They moved the basketball. They scored at will. And then, bang, Miami just tightened it up in Game 2 and got it done.
Yeah, what Miami was able to do in Game 2 was knock down a lot of shots that they didn't see fall in Game 1. Like, you looked in Game 1, there were a lot of not just shots, but wide open shots. They did not have. I'm like, they are really missing a lot of wide open looks. You're not getting better looks. I'm like, you might not see those type of looks at all in the rest of the series. Mm-hmm. But they started knocking down a lot of those shots in Game 2. And we always say basketball is what? A game of runs. So they went on 11-2 or 11-0 run in the fourth quarter.
Like yeah.
And
half of it was Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, about time he's starting to earn that money. But that's what you need to do on the road, and to see them kind of literally take the air out of that building and win just the elevation. And go back to Miami tie 1-1. They always say the series doesn't start till what? The road team wins a game.
Yep.
The series has begun.
It has.
Yeah, it's funny that people always say, hell, in my eyes, the series started as soon as you walk in the damn building, because you're going to get four, get up out of there. Injuries or anything can happen,
That's
man.
True.
Yeah. But like you said, B, the way that Mad Max came out was knocking down some shots. Think about it, he was 0 for 10 last game? 0 points?
Something. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah. So this game, he came out, and that's the big difference. It's all about getting buckets. I don't care what you say. People say threes, just get buckets. If you can get some buckets in the playoffs, you put the pressure on the other team. It makes that team start taking bad shots, second guess themselves, and guys trying to do it on their own. But that's the one thing about this Miami Heat team: the way they move, the way they back cut, the way they don't care who shoots the ball. And I said this before, and I said it again. What I like best about Miami: a guy can come down and take a bad shot, a good shot. They're always encouraging each other. They got each other's backs. It's none of that side out, these antics like, oh, he missed me, and then like that. They are a team.
Yeah.
And it's, when you have a 41-point night at a Jokic or whatever he scored, and then Jamal Murray playing the way he's playing, and you still find a way to win that game on the road. Yeah. Good for the Heat. Just good for the Heat for showing the tenacity. Obviously, Spo's got them ready. They figured out what they weren't doing right, and then whether it was taking better shots or just playing tighter defense. And Game 1 that they missed up, and they capitalized on every opportunity in Game 2 and made it count, made this a series, and that's all we wanted. Wanted a series.
And here's the thing. We talk about, we start to nitpick at Joker's numbers because they're always great. Whether he's whether it's a light triple-double or it's a heavy triple-double.
Right.
Now, that 41-point game, it wasn't a triple-double. I think he was, 2 or 3 assists shy of a triple-double or something like that. Yeah. So if you're Miami, I guess you could look at that as a win. It's amazing how we start looking at these things as a win when it comes to Joker.
Get a triple-double. That's
right.
Yeah.
And obviously he can affect you in so many ways, but when you start to knock down your shots as Miami, as you have been, and people know you can do, that's what happens. You start to say, you know what, we got to get these shots back in game 2 that we left, hanging on the rim in game 1, and that's exactly what they did. Now they're going back to MIAO.
Yep, 305.
My whole philosophy, I said this from jump, if you watch all the games that Denver has lost, it's the games where Jokic scores 40-plus points, and you shut everybody else down. And if you can shut everybody else down, which is a hard task, that means he gets no assist.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jokic is a hell of a player. But really, would you rather I would give up 50, 60 points to him if I get the dub. And that's what the smart teams have been doing to him. Mm-hmm. I know it's a hard and a tall task, but let him go his 30, 40, 50 points. But if you let Jamal Murray get 20 or whatever he might be, you let Gordon stay in, he got 12. You let Caldwell Pope not get in double digits. Mm-hmm. You think about it. Jamal Murray only had 18 points in that game. Against the Lakers, they both were averaging 30 and 30.
Yeah.
35 and 35. And so you got to let Jokic score all the points and shut everybody else down, because it takes more than just one person to win a game in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, the last thing you want is that 27-point, 15 rebound, 13 assists. Well, and you're looking at it like, if you give me that stat line.
That assist number is really the one.
Yeah.
That's really the one that jumps out, because when he's moving the ball around like that means exactly what Rob just said. It means other guys are getting in the game, other guys are scoring, all of a sudden points are running up on you.
But the rebound number is just as important, because the rebounding gives me second chance opportunities to now dish back to the corner and give another guy an opportunity to make a shot or put the ball back up myself. So the rebounds and the assist numbers are pretty equal to me, at least.
Yeah, the thing about that game is they only had 9 offensive rebounds.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that people don't talk about. Jokic's going to get about 6 offensive rebounds a game.
Right.
Keep him off the board, put a big body. Even when Kyle Lowry was stuck on Jokic, you should see how much he tried to root him out. And they was getting him, they was pushing him on the basket. They met force with force. And I think that's the biggest key in this game, because if you watch Denver, they hit, they grab, they push, they play like the old Utah Jazz. That's how they get these wins. If you don't match that intensity and match that push, that shove, and don't back down, you can get a dub.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good game 2 for Miami. I'm anxious to see how it carries over. Like you said, you get a couple days off. So let's just see. Let's see if it carries. By the way, if you want to reach out to the show, I meant to mention this at the top. We just kind of dove right into the finals. I just wanted to remind everybody, if you're on Twitter and Instagram, we're at Big Shot Bob Pod. You can find the Big Shot Bob page on Facebook. There's a lot of reels up there. We put full video from every show on our YouTube channel if you want to see our beautiful smiling faces. You can go to YouTube and just search for Big Shot Bob. And then the email is bigshotbobpod@gmail.com. Were you surprised at all with the bag that Monty got?
Yo, hell yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, man, I'm cussing myself out. Like, damn it, I should have been nice to some coaches. So I could have been a head coach of this game.
Get your ass back into the circle of people who are vying for jobs, because obviously, and now, I mean, there's all these rumors now too. Spoelstra's going to get paid.
Steve Kerr's
going to get paid. So it's like there's a lot. All of a sudden now, it's like the big money's starting to float around to some of these coaches.
Man,
and
I saw that though.
Monty in Detroit. I'm going to be completely transparent. I don't know a ton about Detroit's roster. I have not really paid a lot of attention to Detroit. Seems very young from what we looked up.
Young,
I mean, obviously, I'm looking over the roster. I know a lot of these guys. I know they're young players. What does he have to do early on in Detroit then to try and get them back to relevancy? Because they just haven't been in recent years.
This draft pick they got is going to be crucial, because if you look at their team, they got 1, 2, 3, 4 young guys that are going to be starters. But the problem is, in about 6 or 7 years, can you keep that team together? Because it's going to take 4 to 5 years for this team to mature and get to where Denver is, because Denver was young. But that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
And that's a young team. You think about it, Cunningham, he's in and out of the lineup with injuries. Bagley and Wiseman, this is a young athletic group, man. So I think what I like best about Monty is a true coach, in the sense that he's not one of these coaches like a D'Antoni that comes into an organization. This is my system. Players fit into my system. He is a guy who's going to say, okay, this is the staff, this is the coaches I have, the players I have. I'm going to work my system into what the players have and players into a system that's better for them. Right. And that's what it's about. You have, unless you got a triangle offense, that's really just an offense that involves everybody. He needs to make sure he doesn't do a system, but makes a system that makes his players better and to make each another better.
Yeah, this contract told me nothing but time. They're going to give him time to build this thing out. And what you were able to do in Phoenix, and because I think, he had the most wins over like a 2 or 3 season span. So, and obviously being a coach of the year as well, being able to bring a guy like that in, and what it also says is you're investing in coaching. You believe in coaching. Now, there are a lot of guys who say, hey, roll the ball out there. Coaching is cool, but it's about the players. Yeah. And even though that to be true, Detroit is looking at, no, we think you're a difference maker with that clipboard. We think that you can put these guys in the right position, in the right situation, and they're going to follow your lead, and we want you to grow with them. We want you to mold them. And so I'm happy for Monty. I don't think he deserved to be fired in Phoenix. No. But this was a heck of a get right here.
Yeah. Detroit.
Hey, in this case, sorry to interrupt you. I'm happy I got fired. Yeah. I'm like, fire me.
You want to pay me $78.5 million to fire me? That's fine. Go nuts, man. Go nuts. And he's got 6 years. So like B said, he's got time. He's got a 7th and 8th year option built into this contract. That puts that thing up to almost $100 million. Yeah. For an 8-year deal for Monty Williams to coach the Pistons.
On the real though, if they can stay healthy, get a good pick in this draft, they got a nice little squad, though, man. I know they try to make a trade for Brogdon. I know that's probably still one of the things they could do. Use him, get another good pick, build for the future. Yeah. They got a lot of options. I don't know how much money they got on the table, but I know they got a ton of money they can use too. So Monty's in a great position, boy. He got to come up in 2 different ways: a good team. Well, a team that's going to be good, and a bag.
Yeah.
And this team ain't been relevant. It's something about.
It's been a while.
Yeah, since, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I was going to say, early 2000s when they had that finals run. You know what I mean?
Billups and those guys
Chauncey,
like
Rip
guys, Hamilton and Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace,
it's been so long that Detroit basketball has been an afterthought. We know there's a team in Detroit.
Detroit basketball.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
but it's a shame too because they were such a 90s Pistons into the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Man, that was a tough team. You did not want to catch the Pistons on a night where they were pissed off or sideways.
Right.
Because they were
so tough.
Well, not so tough. Says the man who knocked him down a couple times. Yeah, I got you. But,
yeah, man.
But I was in Miami the year that they knocked the Heat out. And prevented the Heat. I think it was 2005, and knocked Shaq and D Wade out before they made their run the next year. So there were those years where Detroit was relevant in the mix, always in the Eastern Conference mix, and like B said, it's been probably
they had a great squad.
10, 15 years though.
You had Ben Wallace, who had a great role. Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, Rip Hamilton, man.
Rip,
Chauncey.
Chauncey and Tayshaun was probably the key to that team because he was their defensive stopper. Everything you needed in a team, that they had it, man. So they were a good team.
Scrappy. Yeah.
And who's the head coach? Brown. What was his name?
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown.
Yep. Larry Brown. And then other coaching news: Frank Vogel gets the Suns job.
Oh, it was down to him and Doc.
Yeah.
Well, you
could have flipped a coin on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thought being, okay, Vogel struggled in Miami, or not Miami, in L.A., mainly because you had guys that were kind of established and, this LeBron likes to kind of do his thing. And now your hope being you're going to shift him over to Phoenix and maybe get some guys to kind of follow his lead, maybe. But you've got a tough crowd, I think, already sort of in Phoenix with Chris Paul and Kevin Durant and, freaking Devin Booker. Like, those guys know how they want to play. So what can Vogel do with that group? They couldn't do in L.A.
How many years was Vogel contract?
For this one? 5?
Yeah, this was a 5-year deal, I think.
Man, I love Vogel. He's a really nice guy, but I think that's the problem. He's too nice. And you think about this. You're going into a team that has some personalities. You got Katie, Booker, Chris Paul,
Ayton.
and whatever else they might be able to get.
And DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton.
Yep.
It's I like Vogel, but I think if he goes in there with an attitude of fuck y'all, I'm the coach, you do what I say, he'll be all right. But if he goes in there trying to make everybody happy and just puts a system in, so this is what we're gonna run and we need to do this, this, and this, he'll be fine. But from watching him when he was a Lakers coach, he was too damn nice, man. There's points where I'm watching the game, you got freaking Rondo telling the players what to do, pushing him out of the way. You got LeBron telling the players what to do. Like, dude, no, you the coach. You tell them what to do. Take control from day one and cut that shit out before it happens and be a dominant coach and say, hey, this is my system. I'm the only one this bitch can get fired. You guys can just get traded.
Yeah, I definitely thought when they said it came down to him and Doc, I was like, oh, this is going to Doc. I thought Doc was going to continue the streak of continuously getting a job after not doing so well in the previous location. After
riding the 08 Celtics title as far as you can,
I wonder if Chris Paul went to the owner and was like, hey, I already played for Doc. Now I ain't want this shit. Or or did he bat for Doc? What's that? Well, that's an interesting question.
I think your theory on Vogel is right, but I guess my question would be, how respondent is a guy like Kevin Durant to that kind of an attitude? If you come in hard and you go, look, this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to... do you think Durant's a player who wants that, or Durant wants to have a little bit more freedom to just do what he wants to do?
That's a good question. I don't know. I've never seen him in a huddle, or it seems like he's pretty quiet in a huddle and kind of does what the play is written up. So I'm very interested. But I think when I say that, I just think Vogel needs to be so. Hey, we gonna call guys in. What do you like to do? What don't you like to do? And then to come up with a system. That way the guys feel engaged. But you say, hey, okay, this play is for DeAndre Ayton. I know you got this play for you sometime. You just need to be assertive and put his foot down. That's all I'm saying, because he's such a damn nice guy.
Yeah, there are some coaches that just garner a level of respect.
Mm-hmm.
There are some coaches that come in and regardless of who a player is and what he's accomplished and whatever, there are just some coaches that step in there and players just kind of fall in line. Is Frank Vogel one of them guys? No, I don't think so. I think guys have a level of respect for him, but they also know what they can – that leash is long, and they know what they can do.
Did he win a championship somewhere?
Who?
Yeah, he won a championship.
No, Vogel?
He won in L.A.
He won in L.A.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm sorry,
He
was the head coach of the bubble. You're right.
And he had that Pacers team on the verge with young Paul George, David West, Roy Hibbert. They were battling with Miami and them, but never could get over the hump.
No.
Yeah.
He's a defensive-minded guy. So. He's gonna get you to play some defense. He's gonna preach defense, but I think Frank Vogel, with him, you'll eventually hit a wall.
I think I'm gonna call him up and see if I can get that assistant coaching job in Phoenix. How about that?
Dude, go.
I never thought you wanted to set foot in Phoenix ever.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm like, I would love to see this.
Unless he paid me $2 million a year to sit next to him, and I ain't got to go in practice and throw people balls. No, I'm good. No, I can't do it. Phoenix, I love you, Phoenix, but I don't want to come live there.
Well, I mean, look, if you're going to catch a bag, you want to go live in Detroit? And nothing against the city of Detroit, but it just, compared to coming from Los Angeles in Southern California, man.
I know. You want to go from hot as hell to cold as hell. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
I take the heat any day.
Oh, I'm with you. I don't have it in me anymore. My old-ass body didn't have it in me to fight the cold weather anymore. I just don't have it. Are you all surprised? Are you guys surprised at all we haven't gotten a ruling yet on Ja?
No, they said it after the finals.
No, I know that's what Adam said, but it seems like it's just been sort of sitting out there for weeks now.
There is a report, though. They did say a lot of sources say that it's leaning towards basically what I said, 40, no less than at least 40 games suspended.
Half the season, yeah.
Basically half the season. So
I don't know, I was just surprised.
It's so weird that if he gonna get suspended for not doing anything wrong. Think about it. Right. In the big scheme of things.
Now you're reopening a can of worms here that I don't think we need to reopen.
No, I'm just saying. It's just funny, though, man. I'm like, damn it. Right now he's slapping his friend upside the head every time. Saying, man, you might have cost me $20, $50, $60, $100 million.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Even the second time around, your friend recording you. So even for you to pick up a gun, and he tried to turn the screen quick, why did you pick up a gun anyway? Leave the gun there. No one would have known that gun was in the car if you didn't touch it.
Yeah, well, obviously he was trying to. What was that? How you holding up? You got a new control. Oh, you were like you held up a PlayStation controller, like it was your gun. Okay, well, I got news for you too. If there's anything close to a gun in your house, it's a fucking PlayStation controller.
That's
it. That's it. Robert Ory caught on Instagram Live with a PlayStation controller with a DualShock 4. Can't stop that guy. He's out of control.
If you guarantee me north of $200 million, and all you telling me is keep a gun off of Instagram Live or keep it off social media, guess what? You'll never see a gun on social media.
No.
Okay.
Not for that kind of money. I don't even have to own a gun for that kind of money.
Hey, you wouldn't even see a gun on my T-shirt.
Nothing.
I don't even know how to spell gun.
B-A-G. That's how you spell a gun, right? I got a bag. That's all I got.
I don't know how to spell it.
I ain't got no gun. I got a bag.
I'm rich.
All right,
I ain't gonna say the other word.
Yeah, let's not. When does the LeBron to Dallas trade go down?
When pigs start to fly.
Hey, when we all live on the moon. So I think that's just Kyrie's I think Kyrie's a smart guy. He says, man, y'all always gonna put speculations out to me coming there. How about this? I'm gonna take your number one project, your number one player, your number one influencer, and say he's coming to play with me in Dallas. And first of all, is he even under contract with Dallas?
Who? Kyrie?
No,
he's a free agent.
I'm like, well, who's going to pay that? That's what I'm saying. Why are you even paying this any attention?
Maybe this is his move to try and get Mark to sign him to a nice big? Because he said there is a rumor now that he wants to stay in Dallas.
Oh yeah,
he wants to re-sign. But maybe this is his move to say, well, I get a nice contract out of Mark if I can bring LeBron James over with me. But there's no scenario on the planet in which this can ever work.
Not working.
He brought KD with him one time, so.
Well, that's true. He did pull that off.
Yeah.
But look what that ended up doing. Nothing.
If LeBron goes to Dallas, that team is not going to be that good. Because you think about this, LeBron needs the ball a lot.
And so does
Luka needs the ball a lot.
Kyrie
needs the ball a lot.
It's one ball.
So, it's not like when he played with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade can get off the ball, come off the pick and rolls, do his little thing, and Chris Bosh can post up. But now Luka needs that ball 90% of the game, man.
Well, that's his offense, man. That's his game.
Yeah.
His game is controlling that basketball, coming off the dribble, getting those shots, driving, and you don't have those opportunities if you've got 2, maybe 3 ball-dominant guys on the floor at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. And there's by the way, logistically, no scenario, and I've read every little crazy-ass, this trade is successful, trade calculators of what it would take to get him there. I mean, you're talking about moving multiple players, first-round picks, and mountains of nonsense.
They don't have enough.
To get a system that you just said probably won't even work.
Don't have enough.
Yeah. So, they don't have enough. And Kyrie going to have to play for $1 if he wanted to play with LeBron again in Dallas.
Yeah. This is going to call this the Dallas discount, buddy.
LeBron has a better chance of telling Kyrie, well, if you want to play together, you come to L.A. That's a better chance of that happening than LeBron uprooting his wife and the baby girl after he moved to L.A. for them to be in high school and say, this is my life. He not doing that.
No.
And we just donated a lot of money to Campbell Hall where his son, Bryce, is going to go play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He ain't going no damn way.
Kyrie, if you want to come play, you come to L.A.
Yeah.
Sorry, but if not,
there's no
have fun
other scenario.
in Dallas.
Yeah, no, there's no other scenario that ever works out.
It ain't working.
No, not in any way. Now, I guess here's my conspiracy theory question. Put on your tinfoil hat. Is this Kyrie Irving being Kyrie Irving, or is he got Mark Cuban in his ear saying, go make some noise. Go rumble some stuff up with LeBron James. Because we know Mark is not shy to controversy. Mark is happy to, kick up a conspiracy theory every now and then. Or, oh, no, we tried to trade for LeBron in the offseason. You know what I mean? Like, he's good for that stuff.
That's true.
I think it's just Kyrie being Kyrie.
Okay.
Get the light off him a little bit. Say, hey. Because you just went on social media the other day and said, well, keep your name out of my mouth if you don't know what you're talking about. So I think this is a way to get the light off of him.
Yeah.
And dude, you need to stay off social media anyway. So you had to have your damn problems come from social media, Kyrie Irving. You keep your ass off social media.
At the same time, man, look, you can come up with, hey, go out there and say some stuff. It doesn't help you in the end because you're not going to land the guy.
No.
So
not
at the end of the day, the result at the end is matching the result at the beginning, which is you don't have the guy that you want.
Couple more things, and then we're going to get to your appearance on All the Smoke.
Okay.
Kendrick Perkins. So we had KP on this week on Get Up saying that Lakers should not extend Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to qualify for his extension this summer. I think it could be 3 years, $167, something like that. Yeah,
Yep.
3-year, $167 million extension is what he's qualified for.
Right.
Do you think the Lakers should extend Anthony Davis?
That's a tough one. You got to think about this. If it's me, I extend him because you got to be honest, man. This is a generational player. The dude is fucking good, man. And I just don't think he's been. To me, I watched him play in this series against Denver. He wasn't used right. They was using him pick and roll every freaking time down the floor. And he's a talented player. And everybody says, whatever, he's always injured. I was like, shit, nobody says that about Kawhi. Nobody says that about Paul George.
Well, no, I think
Nobody
we've said that plenty
Chris
about
Paul.
Kawhi.
Yeah,
We've said that plenty about, but that was Perk's point. Perk's point
Yeah.
was, I think you haven't, in the last 4 or 5 years, when's he been healthy?
Anything is, first of all, you sign all these guys to these major contracts before they even step into the NBA. You don't even know what they're going to be able to do.
Right.
You know what this guy has the potential to do. If he's healthy, which is a chance, just like everybody you draft and everybody you give out the money from Jump Street, you take that chance because the dude is a hell of a defender. We saw that in the playoffs. He can score when you use him, and you got to take that chance, man. You got to take that chance.
Here's not only do you re-sign him or sign him to the extension, but the other reason is what else you gonna do? Who else out there? I know people have always linked Jason Tatum because of the Kobe thing, and he would love to put on. Jason Tatum is going to be eligible after next season for a 5-year, $315 million Supermax contract. He is not wearing any other color but green. I'm telling you, he's not. Jaylen Brown is the same way. He's about to be due now for 5 years, $296. He ain't wearing no other color but green. Where else do you go if you're the Lakers? And my thing is, you also have to have the piece that could possibly attract other guys. You don't. If you get rid of AD, what piece is there that helps you attract?
Austin
LeBron.
Reeves?
Yeah, I mean, old aging LeBron. You get to say you played with LeBron on his way out, you know?
On the way out. So you sign a four.
It's like getting to say you played with Jordan on the Wizards, you know? You know?
Right. So a guy
Hey, a
signs
lot of people using that to this day.
Not that I'm trying to compare LeBron now with Jordan and the Wizards. I'm not trying to draw that correlation.
Right. So you sign a guy to a 4-year deal. LeBron have 2 years left.
Yeah, maybe.
So you telling me that like the last back end of my contract, I'm not going to be able to play with LeBron and I came here to compete for a title?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys. All right, if you're the Boston Celtics, you got two guys that's going to make $600 million.
That's the show. That's
Do you keep both of those guys or do you get rid of one of those guys?
Well,
That's the question. You have to
now,
ask yourself.
I guess the other question is it Boston's decision or is it their decision? If it's their decision, I think they both want to stay.
Well, you know it's going to be their decision because they want that 300.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So, but here's the question: but if you're Boston, do you get rid of one of them and get two good pieces for one great piece?
If I'm Boston, so I was on the side of possibly splitting them up, but now I've kind of reeled that back in because if you're Boston, you got to start thinking about it's hard enough to have one guy that you drafted. You got two. You've been to the 5 of the 7 years you've been to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. You've been to you were in the finals last year. Yeah. It's a lot of money with two guys, but I try my best to stick and keep those guys together and build other things around them to see, okay, what can we tinker with around them to help them get back to where they need to be. I don't think you get rid of them two.
Well,
I do.
If
I
it's
get rid
me,
of one of them.
And that's what I was going to say. I think if it's me and you look at the grand scheme, you have to put some additional pieces around them.
Yeah.
You can't tie up all of your salary in two dudes. You just can't. Yeah. We've seen that backfire in so many teams. I'm riding with Jason Tatum.
Oh, yeah. If I'm
riding with Jason Tatum. Let's go. I'll sign Jason Tatum, Supermax. You can be in Boston for the rest of your career. Jaylen Brown, he hits and he misses for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think, and you talked about it, Rob, the last series, it was the game 7, really. Like, that was his moment to just take over a game with Tatum out of the game. This is your moment. Take it over. Get Boston back to the finals. And he didn't have it. He didn't do it. He didn't show up for it. So
it's almost like he put too much pressure on himself, and had all those turnovers, and he just wasn't the Jaylen Brown that we was like, okay, this guy is the future, you know. And,
but if it means,
you know, here's the thing: we all have bad games. He had one bad game, and we cannot judge him by Game 7, which is a big game.
Of course,
so I still will roll with him now.
He's a great player.
Yes,
but I think if you're going to if you tie your future up in two guys, you know, you have to have some flexibility. You have to have some ability to add other pieces and spend here and there where you didn't expect to spend. And that's the other thing, too. You can put everything out on paper and then something comes available and you're like, that's the piece we need, and we don't have any freaking money for it. Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, do I want to break them up? No. I think they're exceptional. They've learned to play really well off of each other, which I think was a big knock on both of them early on.
Yeah. And doesn't Boston have a lot of picks, too?
They do have a lot of picks.
I don't know. That's a good question.
You could package him with some picks, and you can probably get 2 or 3 good players, man.
Yeah, I mean, and pieces that you need to fill in the gaps that you have.
Yeah.
And I guess the question too is, what are the pieces that Boston would need?
That's the next question.
What do you have to fill in if you're willing to walk away from Jaylen Brown? What do you need in return for that? Because you're obviously going to keep Tatum. You're going to have Marcus Smart. You're going to have a lot of those other guys still there.
Yeah.
I think what you need to do is...
Do you need a true big?
Well, you got Robert Williams.
Yeah.
Who has proven to where I know he didn't have that great of a series, but he's proven high-energy guy who can block shots and who can rebound. What I do think you need around them more of is you may need more of like 3-and-D guys. You know, guys that can knock down three-point shots and can also play perimeter defense and guard multiple positions. Now, those guys are highly coveted, and there ain't a whole lot of them that's in the league, and most of them under contract, so not many of them get free. So you might have to start looking at trading some things. Like you said, you got assets, you got draft picks, but that's what I think you need around a guy like Jason Tatum. You need other guys who can shoot the ball but can also put the ball on the floor, knock down a mid-range shot, and can play perimeter defense.
You know, and plus they need to change their system up. Yeah. You know, they live by the outside shot so much. You think about it, I've never seen Horford shoot that many threes in a series in my life.
Clearly, you didn't spend much time here in Atlanta. dude got into a run where he was shooting way too many threes, and it was like, dude, get to the basket. What are you doing?
Yeah, and plus, you know, he's aging out too. So you're going to have to get some size. You're going to have to get something in the post. You know, think about it. If it's me, I'm gonna try to get DeAndre Ayton out of Suns, because you know it's a situation where DeAndre Ayton's kind of like, oh, I don't want to be here and all this kind of stuff. But you need a big like that. I think he will work perfect in that system. A big who can get him 10 to 15 every night, and they just need someone solid like that.
So you get rid of Robert Williams?
No. He's come off the bench. I need a shot blocker to come in. You know, he's gonna come off the bench.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
They would. I mean, if you package it up with Jaylen Brown, you may have the pieces to make something like that happen.
Yeah. No, I'm sending Horford away.
Oh, you're sending Horford out, and you're keeping Brown and Tatum.
I'm keeping Brown.
And you're bringing in Ayton.
Bringing in Ayton.
Bro, you talk about. Hey, you going deep in what we like to call the luxury tax.
Yeah, you sure are, man.
But here's the thing: that's a 2-year deal, and then after that, I'm getting rid of Brown because that's gonna be too much money on my board.
Way too much
on my
money.
books.
That's going to be too much money. In year 2 of the 5-year contract?
That contract.
Hey, yeah, you go for it for 1 year, man. Sometimes you roll that dice for 1 year. You
John,
shoot
but
for
then
that
you got to get somebody to eat that contract. You know how hard that's going to be?
Not hard. A talent like Brown.
At that, no, it's not about the talent. It's about the number.
It's about the money.
Hey,
that's the number.
There's a fool born every day, man.
I mean, there's no lie there.
And you know how many fools are in the GMs are in this league? There's a lot of dumbasses in this league.
You know how many team owners let their kids run their freaking teams in this league these days, it seems like? Shit. One of these kids going, I'd pay for it.
I dangle that carrot out there. I'm like, look at his numbers. Don't look at the wins. Look at the numbers.
Don't look at the wins. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain. Just keep going on.
That's a nice size number, boy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Oof. I would think that Boston wants to hold those two guys together, having spent all the time they did, getting them acclimated to playing off each other the way they do now.
Yeah, they were both
try and keep them together.
They were both number 3 picks in their respective drafts. Right. Most teams don't draft one guy like, somebody have an opportunity to draft one guy like Tatum, let alone a few years later draft another one in Jaylen Brown as a top 3 pick. So I think you got to really start thinking about how blessed you really are to be able to have two guys who can help lead you to be a contender every single year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big deal. All right, you were on All the Smoke this week.
Mm-hmm.
Couple things. One, how come we didn't hear about this until the damn thing dropped? I didn't even know you were going to be on.
Oh, I knew.
Harp told me. I had no clue. I was like, what? What?
Yeah, they called me. I ran into Matt in the airport, and he asked me. I says, I ain't got nothing going on this week. I'm going that way anyway. So I stopped by on my way to work. And no, I did not smoke with them because I don't smoke.
No, we knew you. I knew you.
Yeah, no, you're too clean cut for that. No, I got you.
That never even crossed my mind.
Maybe if you lived in Atlanta, things might be a little different, but out there in California. All right, so you're on All the Smoke. On this show, on the shoot around on Friday, we were joking around about primes. The whole conversation about prime Dwight versus prime Jokic, and we said prime Shaq or prime Dream, and you rode with Shaq. You rode with your boy. And then you got on All the Smoke and you dropped this one.
And if you said right now, name the top 5 big men, I played with 3 of them.
Yeah. Who's who? You play with 3 of them.
Well, Dream's number 1 by far.
Okay.
We don't like to talk. Nobody wants to talk about. I think you have these guys who are quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Dream, he's a really quiet guy. You can't get him to do much, to say much. So we kind of veer away from him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about him. But to me, if you look at what he put together, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP in one season, all-time leading shot blocker, those things that you look at his history and what he's done for the game and how he started the game. This dude didn't play basketball growing up. Went to U of H where they went. You think about it, we all went to college where they're going to teach you. U of H, they just rolled the ball out there and he went to work. And so I think what his body of work was just incredible, and he's just a good dude too, man. That's what you have to think about, a good dude.
Shut your bum ass up, man.
Oh, that was Shaq at the end. Sorry, that was Shaq coming in there at the end.
See, here's
That's
the thing.
okay.
with
Go
you,
ahead, defend your point.
This is what you asked me. You said, who would I take in their prime? Not the longevity.
Not the scope
It's a
of their
difference.
career.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a difference. Now, you give me prime Shaq any day because 2000, 2001 Shaq was a fucking beast. You couldn't stop him. But it was only for a 2-year span.
What was only for a 2-year span?
Well, he was just, it's a 2-3 year span.
Okay.
Like if you look at the body of work that Dream put in versus what Shaq put in, Shaq got injured, he got out of shape, and then you look at what Dream was able to do from when he came in with Fly Slammer Jammer, with Ralph Sampson. That's what I'm talking about. See, people think, Shaq's won 3 championships. Yeah, he's won 3 championships. Dream's only won 2, Tim's won 5, but what I'm going to rock with.
Shaq won 4.
No, he's talking about with the.
He won 3 with you. Yeah.
With the Lakers, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking at what I would take for the the overhaul. If if I'm going to have a team with me on it, and those people, it's like I'm taking Dream, and I'm taking Shaq, and I'm taking Tim. And this is so weird. People come across as it's like I'm slapping Shaq in the face and I'm slapping Tim in the face. No, this is my choice.
Yeah.
If I was a point guard and I was coming off pick and rolls, I would take fucking Shaq, and it's a difference. And so people said longevity I said, who am I rock with throughout the career? I'm taking Dream. Because if I say it like this, if we're down 2 and we need to tie this thing up to go into overtime, which one of those guys you going to put on the free throw line in order to make 2 free throws?
Yeah, put Dream.
So.
Yeah, no, I got you. Okay, all right. It's fine. It's fine.
So,
I had a lot of people that hit me on Twitter and were like, I thought he said he wanted Shaq, and now here he is on All the Smoke saying he wants Dream.
But I'm talking about for the overall, for longevity.
I know.
You said it's a difference now. You said prime.
It's okay.
Or who are we going to rock with for a season?
Sorry.
A couple seasons.
You weaseled yourself up out of that one.
You sure did, man.
No, but it's the truth, though.
That was a heck of Shaq if I ever saw one, man. You cut his ass down when he was coming.
No, it's the truth, though. And people, San Antonio probably say, what about Tim? I love Tim to death. Hell of a player, but I'm just going to take Dream first, Shaq second, then Timmy.
But I'm with you because, I always liked Tim, but Tim fit that system perfectly with the players that were around him. And guys like Shaq, you could put Shaq in any offense system, whatever you want to do in his prime, and he would have just run the whole floor over.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Tim was that same kind of a player. He was methodical. He was great. He knew how to score. He knew how to run an offense. But Shaq was like a bulldozer. You just put him out there and go run, and he would just,
Yeah. And you talk about the word dominant, right? It's like he just straight dominated everybody.
Oh, physically.
Physically dominated.
He was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
so, but it's always wording. Wording makes everything a little bit different.
Very
like
good.
if I said, yeah.
Very good, President Clinton. No. It's all about what the word "the" means. Okay, good job, buddy.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
With that woman. What the word relations means and the word woman means. And okay. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to get to our game this week, which has to do with Shaquille O'Neal. It's called Dynamic Duos. Our Big Shot of the Week this week's going to go to Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris.
My defensive coordinator.
You used to be our defensive coordinator here in Atlanta, Raheem Morris. Over the weekend, he was hanging out at the Encore Pool in Vegas, and according to a post from Morris's wife, a little boy got pulled out of the water by the pool without a pulse. And Raheem jumped right into action. There was a lifeguard on duty, got down with the kid. Raheem runs over, grabs the defibrillator, brings it over, and helps the lifeguard give this kid CPR. They defib him. They get him back. Kid goes to the hospital. Kid's going to be fine. He gets out. But, just, again, you could have just sat back and let it unfold. And, Raheem Morris just dove right in. What can I do to help? Is grabbing equipment, is helping get this kid back. So, Big Shot of the Week goes to Raheem Morris for helping save a kid's life at the pool, man. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Good job by him.
Shout out to Raheem, man.
Yeah. Good dude.
I'm gonna need you to save our defense this year too, because we're not gonna be that great. So.
Well,
I thought he's with the Falcons.
He used to be.
He used to be.
Yeah, he used to be our defensive coordinator here in Atlanta. Now he's with the Rams.
He's been with the Rams for a few seasons. He won a Super Bowl with them.
Oh, okay. Well, what thing is, like, I know he had probably that Hamlin thing on his mind. And so he probably said,
think about that. You're right.
Yeah, because that was so.
Maybe.
So he was already, prepared for this. Being prepared and seeing some situations like this. Because I know it didn't happen to him personally per se, but I'm just saying he's seen this issue, and for any time a person can jump to action, especially when someone at this moment is in dire straits for some medical attention, and you keep your head and you can run over there and assist. So, I'm very happy for Mr. Morris.
Yeah, that was just a cool move. Just anytime you help save anybody's life, you get a big shot of the week.
Especially a kid.
All right, this week's game. We're on the 23-year anniversary, if you can believe it. It was 23 years ago that you guys came back to beat the Trailblazers in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. June 4th, 2000 was the Kobe to Shaq lob at the end, and I think it was the 17-point comeback to beat the Blazers on the brink of elimination. Come back, win the game, go on, and obviously win the title. But that moment, that Kobe to Shaq lob, is still one of the most famous moments in probably playoff history. You see it in almost because Shaq pointing at the stands while he's running off and stuff. So, were you on the floor for that, or were you on the?
I was in the corner. I wanted Kobe to kick that shit to me for the 3.
He lobbed it to Shaq instead.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck you doing, man?
He's going to the big man down low. But a dynamic duo for sure. As we look back on that anniversary, and then there was more news about another. I don't know if I want to call them a dynamic duo. I don't know. Did we talk about the fact that Shannon Sharp is leaving?
Yeah.
Fox. Yeah. So him and Skip are done, obviously, and I feel like Skip's done with everybody he works with at one point or another.
I think the last show is after the finals.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so there was some big buyout from Fox and Shannon and all that stuff. So waiting
to
see
they
where.
bought out Shannon?
Yeah, they wanted to. I think it was a mutual separation.
He wanted out.
He wanted out.
They agreed to a buyout or something.
You want to know what the reason? You want to know what the alleged reasons were?
What's the alleged reason?
The alleged reasons are when it came to topic discussions and what we're going to talk about on the show, Shannon felt as though he didn't have enough say-so in the topics, which we could see because every topic was a Cowboy topic of some type of variation. Also,
LeBron topic. Mhm.
well, that's Shannon.
That was Shannon.
Right.
That was Shannon.
Also, Shannon felt as though when it came to a lot of the serious topics, DeMar Hamlin, even when Skip attacked Shannon when it came to his career, like, you didn't play as long as Tom Brady. Tom Brady played longer than you. He felt as though Skip was attacking him, and he took that personally. He's like, yo, when it comes to these serious topics and you taking this stance, I don't appreciate it. So these are some of the alleged reasons.
I also feel like Skip is a guy that gets under everybody's skin.
Yeah.
If you have to be exposed to him long enough. He's like radiation. You know what I mean? A little bit here and there, you're fine. But for a long period of time, I'm out.
Did you hear what Stephen A. said? He addressed it on his podcast.
No, what did he say?
He was like, am I surprised that Shannon wants to leave Undisputed FS1? No. He says, he was like, no, I don't. I'm not. He said, do I know the reasons? No. He said, but I can kind of guess what it is.
Yeah.
He said, but I'd love to have him here at ESPN if he wants to.
So is the show basically Skip's show, and he gets the final and last say so?
Maybe, and I don't know how long his contract is.
Oh.
Well, I think when they started that show,
Yeah.
Skip was the more high-profile, first take kind of guy.
He picked Shannon.
And he wanted to do the show with Shannon. That was kind of Shannon's first big national platform, was doing that show with Skip. So I think if anybody had more say in how the content went on the show, it was probably Skip Bayless.
And Shannon has thanked him numerous times for giving him that opportunity. So it's never. He's never
tell that they never really gelled. You know what I mean? Like there's good-hearted disagreement, and then there's I will reach across this table and strangle you disagreement. And they seem to have more of the latter than they did the former.
Yeah.
All right, so dynamic duos is this week's game. We'll just go back and forth. We'll see how many dynamic duos you guys can uncover.
Batman and Robin.
There you go. Very good. It's a point for Robert Ory. They're not on the sheet, but I'll give you a point anyway. All right, we'll start with you, Rob. We all know that little yellow bastard who lives in a pineapple under the sea is named SpongeBob SquarePants. What is the name of his dumber best friend?
No. I'm about to say it. I'm about to say Squidward, but it's not Squidward. It's crap, man.
I know it.
Uh-oh.
We can steal if we need to.
It's the starfish. It's I can't think of his name right now. I was about to say Roger, but it's not Roger.
It's a Roger Rabbit. That's a whole nother.
I can't think of his name right now.
Can I guess it?
Go, man.
Patrick
Star. Absolutely right. There you go. That'll be.
I can see. I just couldn't think of his name.
That's okay. All right. B-Dog. Beth, Jerry, and Summer Smith are all family members that help this iconic duo travel through the multiverse and have sci-fi adventures on a very highly popular cartoon show. What's the name of that dynamic duo?
Oh, you said cartoon. I was about to say something else.
Read that again.
Beth, Jerry, and Summer Smith are the family members of this iconic duo that travel the multiverse on sci-fi adventures on a popular cartoon show.
And I got to name the duo. Oh, man.
You naming the cartoon show or the duo?
The duo.
Well, the name of the cartoon show is the name of the duo.
Oh, okay.
It seems like it's in your brain somewhere.
I just can't find it.
just like Patrick.
I can't find it.
Rolodex. All right, but Rob, do you know it?
No, I don't.
It's Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Oh, see, I don't watch
which, by
Rick
the
and
way,
Morty.
brilliant show.
I don't watch it, but I've heard of
Rick
it.
and Morty.
My goodness, it's great. My goodness, it's outstanding. All right, Robert Ory. B-Dog couldn't pull Snoopy's name a couple weeks ago in rapid fire. Not to pick on him. Do you know the name of the little yellow bird that is his sidekick?
Does he even have a name?
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
And I'll give you the rest of the
Woodstock.
question. Yeah, absolutely right. It is Woodstock.
That's that bird's
100%.
name?
Yep. The
Woodstock.
bird's name is
Woodstock. I had to think about it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very good. Nice job. Rob ties it up. All right, B-Dog. Wayne's World, party time. Excellent. One of the most iconic skits in SNL history spawned two movies. Of course, the great Mike Myers as Wayne Campbell. Who's his sidekick? With me, as always, is Wayne and
I know Rob knows this.
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know.
Oh, this must be some white people shit.
I really don't know.
Okay, Rob, no?
I have no clue.
Garth, Wayne and Garth.
Oh yes, Garth.
Yeah,
oh
Garth
yes,
Algar, Wayne and Garth.
I wouldn't have.
Dana
Blonde.
Carvey, the great Dana
Yeah.
Carvey playing Garth Algar. Yeah. All right.
He's a great imperson. What do you call it?
Impersonator. Yeah. No, Dana
Yeah.
Carvey's brilliant. Just brilliant. If you've seen some of his stand-up stuff. All right. Whose question is this? This is Rob's. Frodo and Sam were a couple of hobbits on a quest to destroy a magic ring at what mountain? What was the name of the mountain?
Man, I can't think of the name of the damn mountain.
Oh, it's
I know.
easy.
Mike Zion or something like that.
You're close, but no. Actually, no, you're not really that close, but
I don't know the name of the damn mountain.
V, do you know the name of the mountain?
Mount Vesuvius. I don't know.
Vesuvius was the one that exploded in Italy. And
I think this
Killed
is
all
the
the
name of the mountain, and I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
Mordor.
No, that's the name of the land.
That's the name of the land.
The
Yeah.
land.
Oh,
It's a very easy name. It's not like it's crazy or wild or anything.
I,
It's
Hold
been
on.
featured in so many movies and so many parodies. And,
Mount Fiji.
hold on.
that's in Japan.
Is this like a real mountain name?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
it's just one of those iconic things from
Mount.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna kick myself. Tell me.
Go ahead. Mount Doom.
Doom.
Mount Doom. Easy name. Mount Doom. It's been in like a million different things.
Is
All
it
right.
Mount Doom?
Yeah, it's just
I
Mount
think I got
Doom.
to fact check you on that one.
No, go, man. Go ahead. You can fact check.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
don't call out a geek
I never
on
knew.
his
I
geek
never
culture,
knew the
man.
name of the mountain.
Yeah.
I just know my precious. Cause they're my precious.
All right, that's how I am with that Sincoro tequila. I'm like, my precious.
I think it's my go.
Oh yeah. B.
Yep.
William Shatner is back on TV in a show called Stars on Mars, which we watched the first episode of, and it's freaking so stupid.
Stupid in a good way or stupid in a bad way?
A little of column A, a little of column B. It's kind of it's like it's good stupid, but it's stupid. They pretend they're on Mars. They're living in something. Marshawn Lynch and Richard Sherman are on it. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I saw
But
that.
you
yeah.
know William Shatner as Captain Kirk. He's often teamed up with what pointy-eared straight man from Star Trek, who's Captain Kirk's
Man, that's the easiest one
Sidekick.
out of what you gave us.
as B-Dog sits contemplating.
Don't do that. Spock.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
Spock.
good,
Yeah.
Mr. Spock.
Yeah, I knew it was
Mr.
that. I just
Spock.
wanted to make sure I was saying it right.
All right, Rob. This should be a softball for you. Scooby Doo is often wolfing down sandwiches with what friend for life?
Shaggy.
Yes, Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Very
And
good.
Scrappy Doo.
I ain't counting Scrappy Doo, man. Everybody hated Scrappy Doo's ass.
Crap.
Ain't nobody likes Scrappy Doo. Sorry. All right, B-Dog. Doc Brown and Marty McFly were the blueprint for Rick and Morty. They traveled through time in a time machine that Doc made out of what car? Car did Doc turn into a time machine?
A DeLorean?
It was a DeLorean. Very
I always
good.
say, get back into DeLorean and go back in time.
Have you seen the new one?
No.
The new.
Oh, the new DeLorean?
No,
Google-
I didn't know they made a
Google
new
it.
DeLorean.
Google it. It ain't out yet, but it's I don't know if it's a concept.
We'll finish
but you
the
get
show
shit.
and then I'll hop
Yeah.
on Google and start wasting my time.
Yeah.
That was like my wife would always joke, like, if you could own an iconic movie car, for me it was always the DeLorean. I always wanted the DeLorean from Back to the Future. One of my
Come
all-time
on, man. You know
favorites.
you gotta get Speed Buggy.
Who?
Speed Buggy.
You got me on
You never
Speed
saw
Buggy.
that? You never saw that cartoon, Speed Buggy?
Now, you know I ain't
No.
seen it.
Yeah, it's,
No, I
it's
ain't seen Speed
Speed
Buggy.
Buggy is like a spinoff of like 3 different cartoons. It's like you Google it later. So yeah,
Okay.
Speed Buggy.
Was
It's
this
just when you
some
go on
shit
the
they
beach.
showed to the poor kids in Alabama or something? Speed Buggy.
No,
Like
Speed
what?
Buggy.
I ain't never heard of Speed
Hey,
Buggy, man.
So you got Scooby Doo, you got Speed Buggy, you got the Clue Club. You got all these cartoons that were all like
It's like
they
that
all were
Hanna-Barbera age of cartoons.
Yeah, they were all like similar to each other. Yeah, but my favorite out of all of them was Clue Club.
Clue Club. I don't remember Clue Club either.
Clue
I've
Club
heard of
had
it, but
the-
I don't remember anything about it.
It had the 2 dogs, and they had the 2 guys. One was like Shaggy, had a hat and glasses on. Then you had the good-looking girl like Daphne, and then you had the genius who sat at home with this big computer, helping them figure out stuff.
Okay, I like it.
And the dog used to say, "I knew it all the time."
Oh, interesting. We all had a crush on Daphne at one point, didn't we? Did we do Daphne?
No,
No?
no, not mine. Mine was the girl from Thundor, the wizard. You know, Thunder, Ukula the Mock. What was the one?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't pull that. My brain is too full of malted hops and
B Dog, like these cartoons were out before I was born.
Were these
This
in,
motherfucker couldn't pull Snoopy 2 weeks ago. You're pulling like
were these
Thundor
things
out.
were these things in color?
Thunder the Barbarian, yes, it was
Thundar
in
the
color.
Barbarian
Come
was
on,
in
man.
color. Yes, it was. All right, Rob. R2-D2 is arguably the most famous droid from all of the Star Wars films. Who's the tall gold buzz killer that he's always accompanied by?
CP3O.
I'm gonna give it to you. It's close enough. C3PO.
C3PO.
Yeah, close enough.
I
You
said
knew it.
CP.
You knew it.
I've got. See, we just talking about Chris Paul, so that's in my head.
All right.
C3PO.
Last question, B-Dog. Mario and Luigi are the heroes of every game, even a $1 billion movie that just came out. What princess are they always trying to save?
You ain't gonna get this one, dog.
Oh, come on.
I know her
What's
face.
the princess? They're always trying to save the princess. I know her face.
I mean, I played plenty of Mario, but I can't.
It's very well known. It's not like it's an obscure thing.
Princess. The name I'm about to say
not
is very
gonna
Star
get it.
Wars-ish. I was about to say
not
Princess
gonna
Leia. Or
That's
something.
that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it.
What is it, Rob?
Isn't it Peach?
It is Princess Peach for the win. Robert Ory
That ain't the most
comes in
random,
with
well-known.
Princess Peach. It is.
All the reason I saw it because I knew it because I just watched it yesterday.
You just watched the Mario Brothers movie?
That is a terrible name for a princess.
Princess Peach?
Yeah.
She's been Princess Peach since that game came out in the 80s.
And it's been terrible since the 80s.
It has not. Don't you dare crap on the Mario Brothers.
No. I'm
No,
not
you-
talking about the Mario. I'm talking about the name. Her name. It's just
name.
because she's had it for a long time. That don't mean it ain't trash.
Wow. Wow. Demeaning poor young white women. And
The-
you
the
say
great-
that.
no.
Fine.
It could have been Beth. It could have been Sarah. It
Jennifer.
could have been Mary Beth.
Yes. Princess Mary Beth.
It
Yeah,
could
you're
be
right.
Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wrong with Leia? I know Star Wars got it, but you could have gave her that too.
You're Mario and Luigi saving Princess Leia. That
Yeah.
was my childhood is all screwed up now. Now all lines have crossed.
Got me missing questions I ain't supposed to be missing.